A21. Can we just pause and celebrate for a moment? Because,
yeah, this is good coffee right here.
oh, he just made this for us, and I'm so grateful. So our intention with this challenge was to provide regular, bite-sized, practical encouragement for relationships in the middle of global pandemic. We wanted to provide a framework for people to have important conversations in the middle of the stress. So it has been our honor to do this, and thank you to everyone who's tracked with us. I know there's a bunch of people about a week behind and they're still coming up, but anyway, those that shared our posts and encouraged us to keep going, it meant so much.
So what's next for us? Well, there are two things that we are currently working on. First of all, we are formalizing what we
do
for do. I gotta have another sip of coffee.
Did you notice our afternoon posts are like far more spinny?
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
So for years we have done this relationship stuff, marriage stuff off the side of our desk, but it's becoming our main thing in both Asia and the West, along with Zoe Network. When we speak on leadership and relationships, people can get inspired. So, but there's never been kind of next steps for them, and so Leanne and I are working on clear next steps for people who want to go deeper with what we do. So watch for that news. So, and out of the response to this challenge, we're going to try and do a weekly kind of Facebook Live video, but not every day.
Yeah, not every day. So our website is being built right now as we speak and will be launched by the end of the month. And this website will house free resources and tangible ways for you to connect with us through coaching, courses, and or speaking. We're beginning to outline a course right now that we're very excited about, to help couples articulate their values and their mission for their partnership. We're so passionate about this. There is purpose for couples. It's not just to be happy and build wealth and retire in a warm climate. There's so much more for you and your partnership, and we love helping couples unlock that.
So, a PS, this has always been part of the plan for our engagement as global workers. So where we are located in the world, a business backdrop is required. So stay tuned. We'll launch that website hopefully with a bit of a splash so you can see it. And the second thing, we are working on things with Zoe Network. Zoe is a ministry that Leanne directs, and our team empowers and mobilizes women and men to respond with their bit to the mission of God that's all around us. As part of this, we connect people with work we're doing with women around the world in the areas of health, education, economic empowerment, and human and sex trafficking.
So we're launching a Thrive series where our team are going to be interviewing and learning from women around the world to hear how they are thriving in spite of a global pandemic. And it's going to be inspiring. So follow Zoe on Facebook and Instagram so you don't miss out on those interviews. So, and
we'll keep it on our social media feed as well. So
your coffee action is really scaring me over my laptop.
Okay, sorry.
So here we are at this challenge at the end. What have we learned?
We actually just got back from a walk and kind of were unpacking more of our reflection from this morning and really taking the time to do that. What have we learned? And I think for us, we talked a lot in our reflection about our connection and our connection to our family, our close friends, and life is about connection, and that's it.
Yeah,
connection stuff doesn't matter. Power is overrated. Prestige is overrated. Experiences are okay, but it's people and God who make it great.
Yeah. And it's been fascinating to see people all over the world reaching out for connection. Like, this is what we're wired for. I was on a Zoom call this week with Asia, and there was, the panel on the Zoom call, and we just kept saying over and over together, I miss you, I miss you. And that's the thing we're all learning through this pandemic, is that
I could hear you all saying that.
Oh, I know. We weren't.
You're wasting minutes.
But here's the thing. It's just showing how much we are wired for connection and how badly we need each other.
When we look back to the creation story, it says that God created Adam, but he's alone and he said it's not good. He has this big job, Adam does, to steward all of creation, but he needs somebody else with him. So Eve is created, and her relational word, one of my favorite words actually in the whole Bible, is Ezer or Ezer, which means strong power or coming through, particularly when the other can't do it. It's a picture of team and cooperation, collaboration, not competition, not one-upmanship or domination. And right now, in the middle of a pandemic, we are realizing that that is what we need and what we long for in our relationships.
Yeah. Now, if we go back to the creation story, sin enters the picture. Humanity was broken and connections got ugly. Adam and Eve severed their connection with God, and they began to experience relational difficulty with themselves. And ever since that time, we've been trying to find our way back to God and our way back to each other and get reconnected. We're recording this video on Easter weekend 2020. When the meta-narrative of God's sacrificial love is being celebrated worldwide. The story of human beings being reconnected with God through the death and resurrection of Jesus. And it's the gospel, and it's such good news, and it's what we have dedicated our entire lives to. But, this idea that we become a part of a family where we're loved and accepted and forgiven, but we often limit it in terms of thinking of the vertical relationship between ourselves and God.
Yeah, so Easter goes beyond that, where we can also be connected with other people. God calls us his family, and the best families are those who are in loving relationships with each other. Now, not all families are like that, but the picture that God is trying to create is that good family. And when our relationships are strong, it provides an uplift to the greater community. So when you are loving your people well, you're impacting the whole. When Leanne and I love each other well, that impacts our kids, our friends, our neighbors. And when our greater family does that, and when there's healthy relationships, it spills out and has an impact. So God invites us into his mission of love and connection for all people. And how do we do that? Well, there's two great commandments in Scripture. One is love God with everything, and then love your neighbor, love each other. And there's too much there to unpack today in a 10-minute little talk. But the idea is we were created to be in relationship with God and with each other.
I love that. Because God, what God has done through Jesus is to reconcile our relationship with him, but also reconcile our relationships with each other. See, the gospel touches
it goes back
all of it.
And says there's a way past this brokenness that happened when Adam and Eve screwed up in the Garden of Eden.
There's a way past. So your challenge, we're going to leave this day 21, love God and love your neighbor. And who is your neighbor? Your neighbors are those around you in your community. We can look and see the houses next door to where we are right now. It's your global neighbors, people,
all around the world.
All around the world. Go ahead. You're going to say something.
It's interesting with a pandemic. A pandemic has impacted everybody. The whole planet is being touched by this disease. Now take the love of Christ and the love that we can have. That love is infectious, and it can impact the whole planet. It's not just for you and me.
If it matters to God, it needs to matter to us, right? And here's the thing: your neighbor also includes the people you're hanging right now with at home.
Those people you can't seem to get away from.
So we've talked about relationships in all kinds of ways over the last 21 days. And if we had to sum it all up, it would be this: invest in your relationships. Do all that you can to build health into them. Treasure them, because your vertical relationship with God and your horizontal relationship with your friends and with your family, with your spouse, are the most valuable thing that you hold.
Yeah, and just want to say again, as we come to the end of this 21-day challenge, like Leanne and I are not counselors, but we've gone for counseling, and if you need family counseling, marriage counseling, as we've said in an earlier vlog or whatever we call these, go get help.
Yeah.
And if your marriage is in trouble, where it's a gong show or there's a sense of domestic abuse, go get help.
Reach out. So invest and treasure, and remember, together. I thought I was done.
Well, no, I just want to say
one more thing.
I just feel like it. I feel
You're feeling things.
I feel sad. Like, this has been really beautiful. Like, because there's been people who haven't connected with for years. Like some of our youth group in Terrace, who we haven't seen physically for 20 plus years.
They're all middle-aged now.
Don't tell them that. But like, they're connected in, and some of our friends who we've met from around the world are watching. So it has just been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks for journeying with us.
Okay, so
now,
remember,
together you've got this.